This is the reality of 99% of Americans. The month ends, the paycheck barely hit the account, and the money is already gone, and many times we do not even know where it went. The debts are enormous and seem to have no end, and what remains, when anything remains at all, barely covers a simple weekend leisure activity. But what if I told you that it is possible to transform this situation without needing to earn more? Would you set aside a few minutes to hear me out? I guarantee it will be very important. We are going to do some planning without needing to earn more. We are going to do this simply by learning to make better use of what you already receive. The distance between those who live permanently squeezed and those who build financial stability is not in how much the person earns, it is in how they manage every dollar they receive. And the foundation of a healthy financial life can be condensed into 4 fundamental pillars, and these pillars are what we are going to cover in this video. They are straightforward, but when applied with discipline, they completely change the trajectory of anyone. Prospering financially was never a matter of luck. It is about method. First pillar, mastery of spending. This is the starting point and also the most neglected one. There is no possibility of growing financially without knowing what you are spending your money on. Many people believe the problem is a low salary, when in reality, the problem is the absence of visibility over what is leaving the account. You know that coffee bought every day before work, the streaming subscription you do not even remember exists, the impulse snack in the late afternoon, that quick online purchase that seemed insignificant. Each one of these items seems small in isolation, but when you add it all up at the end of the month, the result can be alarming. $3 a day on coffee over 22 working days is $66. Add the $15 subscription, the $8 snack 3 times a week, and suddenly you are spending more than $170 per month on things that do not even register in your memory. In a year, that is more than $2,000. That is enough money to start an emergency reserve from scratch. The solution is simple. Record everything. It can be on a sheet of paper, in the Notes app, on your phone, or in a spreadsheet. When you put your spending on paper, money takes shape. You start to see where you can cut, what you can reduce, and what is truly indispensable. And mastering your spending does not mean depriving yourself of everything. It means making conscious choices. Instead of eliminating delivery entirely, reduce from twice a week to once. The pleasure remains, but your wallet thanks you. It is this kind of adjustment that produces results without sacrificing quality of life. Second pillar, emergency reserve. Now that you can see where the money is going, it is time to protect what you have already achieved. The emergency reserve is your financial life jacket. It is what prevents you from sinking into debt when an unexpected problem arises, like a car that breaks down, an unforeseen medical expense, or a job loss. The goal is to have saved the equivalent of 3 to 6 months of your basic expenses, but you do not need to start with all of that at once. Begin by setting aside $50 or $100 per month. It seems like little, and it is little. But the essential thing at this stage is to create the habit of saving before spending. With consistency, this reserve grows, and along with it grows something that is priceless, the peace of mind of knowing that you can handle an unexpected event without collapsing financially. Think about this with me. If your phone breaks tomorrow and you have $1,000 saved, you resolve the situation without stress, without installments, and without interest. Now, if you have nothing set aside, you will put it on the credit card, you may end up with a revolving balance, and there goes all the control you built in the first pillar. An unexpected expense of $500 without a reserve can turn into a debt of $800 in a few months because of interest. With a reserve, it is just a withdrawal and a gradual replenishment. The difference between the two scenarios is enormous, and everything is connected. Third pillar, elimination of debt. This is perhaps the most feared of all, but also the most liberating. Nothing sabotages wealth building more than the weight of debt. Debts function like a bucket full of holes, or a sieve, or something along those lines. No matter how much you put in, the money always escapes from below. And the worst adversary in this equation, without a doubt, is the credit card. The card provides a false sense of power. You acquire now, you pay later. But that later arrives accompanied by high interest, and the snowball forms quickly. Millions of people are trapped in this cycle. They pay the minimum on the bill, the rest enters the revolving balance at interest rates of 25 to 30% per year. And without realizing it, the original debt practically doubles in less than 3 years. The credit card is a powerful tool when used with control, but without control, it becomes a trap that captures precisely the people who are least able to pay the interest. The way out is to build an attack plan. List all your debts, organize them from the highest interest rate to the lowest, and begin by eliminating the ones that drain your resources the most. This is what experts call the avalanche method. You direct all your effort toward the most expensive debt first, while paying the minimum on the others. When the first one is paid off, the amount that was going to it moves to the second, and so on. If any amount is left over, even if it is just $200 per month, direct it toward the debts. Each payment is a concrete victory, and the feeling of paying off a debt is liberating. You recover not only the money, but the mental peace that the debt stole from you. Fourth pillar, making money work for you. This is the step that separates those who merely survive from those who genuinely prosper. Many people believe that investing is a privilege of those who have a lot of money, but that is a myth that needs to be dispelled. Today, it is possible to start with small amounts. $50 in a high-yield account, $100 in an index fund that replicates the performance of the largest companies in the country. You do not need an economics degree. You do not need thousands of dollars. You do not need a broker. You need an account at a brokerage and the decision to start. Investing is putting money to work, generating more money. While those who spend everything need to work the entire month to cover their bills, those who invest see their wealth grow even while sleeping. And the mechanism that makes this possible is compound interest. In the first year, the return seems irrelevant. $50 per month over 12 months, with a return of 8% per year, generates about $625. It seems like little, but in the 5th year, that same habit has already accumulated more than $3,500. In the 10th, it surpasses $9,000. And from there, the return on the return begins to accelerate in a way that seems disproportionate to the monthly effort. It is like pushing a snowball down a hill. At first, it is small, and the progress seems slow. But the longer you push, the more voluminous it becomes, and at a certain point, it gains its own momentum and grows on its own. What is fundamental is consistency. It does not matter whether you invest $50 or $500 per month. What transforms the game is not stopping, and over time, the wealth begins to multiply, opening up possibilities that previously seemed out of reach. These 4 pillars, mastery of spending, emergency reserve, elimination of debt, and investments, form the foundation of financial prosperity. None of them requires luck or a high salary. They require discipline, patience, and willingness to do things differently from what most people do. Most people spend everything they receive, finance what they cannot afford, ignore the reserve, and never start investing. If you do the opposite of those 4 things, you are already ahead of 90% of the people around you. And the best part, each pillar reinforces the next. Mastery of spending frees up money for the reserve. The reserve protects you from falling into debt. The absence of debt frees up money to invest. And investments make the money grow without you needing to trade more hours for it. It is a virtuous cycle that begins with a single decision: stop spending everything and save the first dollar. If you stayed until here, comment "Invest to win." Thank you for watching. God bless you, and see you in the next video.